Yeah, I've never played this path before, so that's actually so funny. I didn't realize I actually called that. But I guess the devs know about the meme too. But I mean, who doesn't? Because it was pretty it was used very prevalently for like the past 6 years in some really weird ways. Transylvania conspiracy. The pro-Hungarian government has been released in what can only be described as a soft coup by the pro-Romanian elements in the Federation Socialist Parties of Transylvania. The Hungarians are expecting the worst and mobilize their troops. Oh dear. What are you talking about? Anna Parker's in charge. Doesn't look like anybody's... Okay. Well, we'll see what happens, I guess. Oh. I'm not even going to take time to pronounce that name. Elected as chairman in Transylvania. Let's see. So... Oh, Transylvania again. Okay, so this guy's a revisionist socialist, not a vanguard socialist. Okay, so this was essentially what we were at the beginning of the game. I actually wanted to go vanguard socialist or whatnot, but whatever, it doesn't matter. This is exactly like a leftist meme. This is so much words. Okay, here I go again. The old professor was walking down the halls of the university, holding a copy of Oswald Spengler's Decline of the West under his arms. The folder, on the other hand, was swinging calmly in the old wrinkled appendage. He was headed for his old apartment when suddenly he encountered one of his students. He was surprised to see him at this hour, but he suspected he had some business with him. The professor greeted his student and said, "Hello, Herr Flota. What brings you to this old man? I thought you wouldn't want to see me after today's quarrel. I've come to apologize about my behavior at the lecture. I can agree that Ernst Moritz was right about many things, but I have some questions. At least, could you explain why you justify his anti-Politism and general anti-Slavism? Anti-Slavism, not Slavism. Slavism, that's what it is. In my opinion, we gave way too much to the Slavs. Poles occupy ethnically German lands, and Czechs on the Austrian Empire shattered their unity, taking advantage of the weakness of the Austrians. Not to mention the Slovaks, who rose as a nation suddenly and destabilized our Hungarian friends. We should just tighten our fists on their larynx and show them that this is our blood, our soil, and they can't just go around claiming their national rights. I would not be surprised if the Poles claimed the land as far as the Rhine in the name of some eternal great Lycia, and those idiots from the Bundestag would agree to all the conditions and throw in further disarmament of our army. So what do you think we should do with them? Probably deport them or separate them from our people and give advantages to our proletariat instead of the Ukrainian farmers from abroad. Since we have already unnecessarily liberalized our economy, we might as well give more rights to German businesses. Oh, that seems reasonable. Maybe we'll go somewhere to eat as compensation. My treat. I'd like to hear more about this blood and soil. That doesn't sound bad, sure. Sunta took his professor at a cheap bar where the two of them dined on some good quality steak and afterwards washed it down with good German beer. The professor talked the night away, teaching his young student all about the works of the German nation and what must be done to defend it. However, after hours of talks, the two parted ways and returned home with goodbyes. The professor, however, did not have a quiet night, as around 6 o'clock he was awoken by the sound of his door being kicked in. In his stupor, he was able to make out the uniforms of the people's militia, and he was quickly handcuffed and put into a police van. As he was being hauled away, he noticed the very student he had dined with smugly staring at him. The professor tried to yell, but his cries were drowned out by the tempered glass, leaving nothing to hear his own voice. Nationality is defeated. Nationality. Okay, so this is exactly what I was thinking. So, essentially, this is the freaking tolerance meme put into governance. We've become the paradox of tolerance meme. We've become the tolerant society through force, essentially, which is funny. Groups of work. Our revolutionary government has feverishly pursued a change in the mode of production in Germany. This may all be well and good, but by doing so it has ignored something equally important, the mode of production. Of distribution. Perhaps they believe that a change to production would inevitably challenge distribution, but this is foolishness. Things do not happen without work, and we must work to create a fair and equitable mode of distribution. It is time to pivot from an obsession about the workplace and to open our coffers to those in need. Modify the socialism. Okay. So essentially, we're not technically socialist as the Republicans won the American elections. Okay. We weren't technically socialist anymore as the original ideal of the German Revolution wanted it to be, because apparently we're allowing private enterprise, or at least some parts of it, like, I guess this is kind of like what China does, without the whole, just with all this like weird paradox of tolerance memery going on. I mean, China OTL, I mean, China our timeline. Oh. Well, that's funny. Quotocracy, okay. Okay. To be well is glorious. Let us be rid of obnoxious wealth taxes, those accursed laws which hinder economic development by preventing individuals from benefiting from initiative and valor. A socialist society does not and has never meant absolute equality, not even Marx believed this, therefore why limit wealth, why force a regime of absolute and mindless equality of the people in such a country as ours with the floor of the economy so high, why lower the ceiling? Okay, so again, this is pretty much socialism in name only. Okay, so the Republicans are in charge of the United States. That's good. Well, not good for us, but I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been the you can get technocracy incorporated in power, and they basically just annex the entire freaking North America and supposed to go with the French, and we don't want that, so. Also, I guess Tesla didn't. You can get Nikola Tesla in power in the Yugoslav state, which is pretty interesting. Also, tank production going. Let's see more. Revolution of today. Some would claim that the revolution is to be found in the grand sweeping actions that shake the very foundation of society, but this view is gravely mistaken. True revolutions come from the people and their small everyday actions. Such actions and movements demonstrate that the revolution has succeeded in securing social change in the people. Let us move to encourage acts of social change and revolution to guarantee the revolution is established from the bottom up. I mean, this sounds all well and good, but I mean, we're arresting people for violating our speech laws. At least we get plus 40 monthly population. Oh, that's nice. Wilhelm Buck, Herman Mula, Frederick Kaiser. I hate how to actually physically put these guys in. I like the Kaiser-Reich system where they just like appear and you don't spend political power, they're just there. Let's see, military staff. I'm not going to focus too much on the Navy. Yeah, if nothing's happening right now, I'm sorry, but I mean, it's gonna take a minute before we can start actually expanding places. I don't know, like my personal playstyle is to do all these domestic focuses first and then start expanding when I can actually, when I have the min to do it and all the buffs and everything. Let's see. Which would be better? Right, the sneaks we see. Unlike our comrades, we understand that socialism is not some inevitable reality, but something that must be fought for bitterly, lest the embers of the emancipation of the workers die forever. We socialists are lambs in a vast and shrouded jungle of predators surrounding us on almost every side. This is a lesson we learned from the failed Austrian Revolution, and with this lesson we must seek to protect socialism from the reactionary wolves that even now surround us. No longer will we underestimate the many enemies of the worker, and as such, no longer shall the revolution of the worker be to be. Oh. What's this? Okay, it's just Italy. Who's in Italy right now? Francesco Nitti. Okay, so this, the economic liberals are in power in Italy. Okay. Interesting. We haven't really gotten any of the more extreme people in Austria or Poland. It's mainly just France and a few which we have to really worry about. Maybe the National Front. Probably should have sent men over there, but I didn't think about it at the time. I'll let the Russians fight each other. How's Churchill doing? Not good.